Hey, what's up? I'm Puste. Today I want to tell you what it was like drawing Sister Imperator number 1, published by Dark Horse Comics. Yes, Sister Imperator, that mysterious figure from the Ghost universe. I'm sure you've seen her in their music videos, in their lore, throughout their iconography. Well, this comic tells her origin story, or at least a part of it. The project was personally supervised by Tobias Forge, the mastermind behind Ghost. And when I say supervised, I mean literally everything. Every panel, every gesture, every shadow. Before this, I had already worked with Dark Horse. I did some storyboards for a Star Wars project, which I didn't end up drawing. I'm not really sure what happened, but they kept the boards, and that's how they met me. And when Sister Imperator came up, they were the ones who wrote to me. I guess they knew I could switch styles without a problem. Sometimes I think it's a lack of style, but hey, it sounds better to say I'm versatile. The thing is, I said yes instantly. Drawing the Ghost universe? Amazing. We wanted the comic to be elegant, hypnotic, disturbing. More suggestion than showing. No cheap gore. I proposed making it a bit tougher and more violent, to empathize more with the protagonist, but we ultimately agreed to be more elegant and careful. We touch on some pretty tough subjects, and the point wasn't to show just for the sake of showing, so we opted for that silent tension that you don't know where it comes from, but it stirs you up inside. Visually, I was inspired by movies like I Spit on Your Grave, X, or Barbarian. Tobias recommended them to me to get into the mood when I started the first issue. As a horror fan, I had already seen them all, but hey, perfect excuse to watch them again. That kind of horror that mixes trauma with transformation. Because it's not about blood, it's about what it makes you feel. That was the spirit of Sister Imperator, a story that doesn't scream at you. It whispers things you would rather not hear. Come on, I'll tell you a little bit, but not too much. For that, grab the comic. It all starts in 1953 at a very strict religious house in Connecticut. A girl witnesses her father's murder at the hands of an ambitious reverend. And from there, guilt, silence, flight. She ends up in a traveling circus in Europe, finds something like a family, but the past won't leave her alone. That journey turns her into who we know today. Sister Imperator, a powerful and tragic figure, half victim, half symbol, and with ghosts involved. A character much more complex than she seems. The script was written by Corina Becco and Tobias Forge. Corina did a brutal job adapting Tobias's idea. She reveals things little by little and keeps the tension constant. The colors are by Thiago Rocha, who created a spectacular atmosphere, especially with those red and yellow tones. I love it. The lettering is by Jimmy Betancourt, and the reading flows great. And my editors were Jenny and Misha, who were essential to the process. They were incredibly patient with me, because I asked a lot of questions and proposed changes, but they guided me very well. Thanks. I started with very loose, but clear sketches. I put in provisional lettering to control rhythm and composition, and sometimes very simple gray tones to separate planes and mark intention. I sent that in for review. First Jenny and Misha, they asked for changes, and when everything was set, they passed it on to Tobias until the final okay. When everything was approved, I moved to inks. This is where I made it pretty. Sometimes I added grays, textures, or changed the style a bit, depending on the scene. And I delivered a final PDF with my provisional lettering and effects, so they had a clear black and white version. If everything was good, past the double filter of my editors and Tobias, I then sent the layered PSDs for color. So Thiago had total control. A slow process, but very inspiring. Sister Imperator number 1 sold out in its first week, and Dark Horse issued a second printing before number 2 even came out. Critics highlighted the atmosphere, the art, and how well it fits into the Ghost universe. And by the way, the cover by Mikael Eriksson is perfect, beautiful, and disturbing at the same time. It's the comics banner. The first thing that catches the eye. A very good job. For me, the best part was seeing how the spirit of ghosts seeped into every page. Religion, theater, darkness, all mixed up. If you love ghosts, or if you're obsessed with comics with a real atmosphere, the kind that don't show you the horror, but make you feel it, you're going to love this one. See you in the next video.